Good morning, everybody. Target individual David Atkins back with another video. I found a very good article with a very good information on exactly what's going on and how some whistleblowers have came forward and wrote a letter about what's going on, fusion centers, and et cetera, et cetera. And I will get to that after I get this Bible verse. And it's some real good information. You know, I try not to share nothing unless it's good. So, anyway, 2 Peter 3, verse 3 through 9, and I'll read it very fast. Knowing this first, the scoffers will come in the last days, walking according to their own lust, and saying, where's the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For this they willingly forget that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water in the water, by which the world that then existed perished, being flooded with water. But the heavens and the earth, which are now preserved by the same word, are reserved for fire until the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But, beloved, do not forget this one thing, that with the Lord one day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some count slackness, but is long-suffering towards us, not willing that any perish, but that all should come to repentance. That's a very important verse there, because, you know, a lot of us are looking at, oh, God ain't real. They've been saying this for years. He's coming, he's coming. Well, when Noah was trying to warn them, you know, they thought he was crazy, and he got on that ark and got his life saved, you know. And in Matthew 25, and Jesus said, in the last days it'll be like the days of Noah. So, you know, what was going on in Noah? The same thing going on in America and everywhere else. All kinds of criminal evil going on. And then people are trying to warn people, hey, Christ is coming and all this. And I'm not trying to push God on nobody. Like I said, I love y'all. If you don't believe in God, I'll still love you. And so don't take it as me trying to push God. I'm just stating what I believe in my path. And in the last days of Noah, you know, they were scoffing him and all that, making fun of him, telling him he was crazy for building an ark and God wasn't coming. I mean, the flood wasn't coming and God wasn't going to destroy nothing. Well, it's the same today. And Jesus warned in Matthew 25, it'd be like the days of Noah in the last days. So, you know, I'm not saying the end of the world's here or nothing like that. I'm just saying you got to be ready at all times. If you're a believer and you believe that, then you need to stand on it and get close to God. If you're not a believer, like I said, I love you like anybody else. I don't judge you. I don't think I'm better than you at all. So anyway, we're all TIs in the same thing, going through the same thing. Okay, so here we go. As of late 2022, multiple FBI whistleblowers have gone to congressional representatives like Jim Jordan and Charles Grassley to report that not only is the FBI purging conservatives and Christians from their ranks, but the FBI field office in D.C. has ordered that field officers all over the nation to put the real crime on the back burner and get busy fabricating charges against rank and file American conservatives, especially call them terrorist threats or white supremacists or any other name they can come up with, so that the Biden administration can take more draconian measures against people they perceive as impediments. Perceive as impediments to their plans to declare the American people themselves to be enemies of their totalitarian state. And I'm for the record, I'm just reading. You can come over your own conclusion, okay? And I'm going to go back before, and it's fixing to get in some deep stuff that's going on, so please do not close this off, because it's going into information. It's getting away from the politics side already, okay? And just want to go back. I don't share my political views on here, because it don't matter. We're all TIs. We're all in this together. Now, it says purging Christians and conservatives from their ranks. I agree with that to a point, but they're purging Democrats and everybody. It's not just Christians and conservatives, and that's what I believe. You know, Democrats are purged this as well. So, you know, I disagree with that there, but we're finna get into some good information. This explanation is perfect about what's going on. Okay. Enemies of their totalitarian state and advance a falsified premise upon which to suppress, do away with, nullify yet more freedoms until we all have none. This Frame the Citizens program is actually the culmination of a very successful scam that the DHS through the FBI has been running for more than 20 years. Ever since the inception of the FBI fusion centers after 9/11, they were touted as the remedy to intelligence failures that led to 9/11. They were placed where local authorities and federal representatives of various agencies supposedly could go to fuse information to detect and prevent future terrorist attacks like 9/11. There are now about 80 across the USA. Might we expect one on each street corner? Getting to 20 plus years, how many terrorists have they identified? Much less how many attacks have they thwarted? Exactly zero. News articles, they even called them pools of ineptitude, and remarked how fusion centers continuously declined Congress's request for accountability for all the billions of dollars spent by them. How are we in a situation where part of the government defiles accountability to who oversees their funding? If they have not found or stopped one attack in 20 years, then what are they doing? Our FBI fusion centers, the proverbial Trojan horse for a takedown from within. There's a new committee forming in Congress to look into the weaponization of federal government against American people. It's nicknamed the Church Committee 2.0, referring to the congressional investigation in the 1970s that was meant to rein in unconstitutional criminal activity by the CIA against innocent Americans. This new committee claims it's been spurred on by recent brazen FBI abuses of power, yet it was really only the tip of the iceberg and nothing new. The audacity and arrogance of themselves has been on the collision course for exposure for a long time. They have, however, successfully hidden their deprived, covert war against thousands of innocent Americans for 20 plus years through the fraud fusion centers. How have they managed to do this? Unfounded trust in them is a key factor, as well as fictitious oversight. They have improperly claimed national security concerns to secretly accuse, list, and target thousands and thousands of Americans they know to be innocent. Then they blow off congressional oversight and then blow off FIAS by the legalistic sleight of hand, Freedom of Information Act, by the way, by the legalistic sleight of the hand, having these fusion centers privately owned. And it is not just that, they are dishonestly bloating the watch list to get bigger budgets and more power, though that certainly is a driving factor. And they are not just illegally surveilling the victims, they are destroying the lives and actually killing people while making money off doing it and blaming the victims, the innocent people. This is human trafficking on a very sophisticated and reprobate level like never seen before. Since the PAA and NDAA trample the Constitution, no one has a sense to rescind them based on a total lack of terrorist activity in 20 years, meaning the U.S. the U.S. is not actually in a state of emergency for that reason anymore. Then, using these unconstitutional acts criteria, an innocent person can be declared a threat and surveilled for life. The secretly targeted individual constitution, civil, and human rights can be nullified by secret, fabricated lies, legally telling this perverse wing of law enforcement to put up or shut up as laid out by the Constitution is not allowed. No challenge is allowed by the victim, who is not even notified or allowed confirmation of being accused of a crime or acting suspiciously. No, the person's blindsided and the last to know. Everything's a secret. Secret accusation, secret crime, secret accuser, secret evidence, etc. No one on this list has ever been charged, much less brought to trial. This is because the FBI fusion centers know they are lying and defrauding the government taxpayers. They cannot afford to be exposed in the court of law. They make their fortunes by endless surveilling until the victim's death, and you can argue a fusion center's victim's death is never natural causes. But what makes up this surveilling? Bugging the individual's home, phone, car, hacking their internet, their computer, intercepting their mail, intercepting packages, putting secret cameras in the environment facing their home? Yes, but much more. Once a contract is taken out on target, fusion centers send out officers to viciously defame the target and enlist neighbors, co-workers, professional contacts, doctors, lawyers, accountants, bank employees, blue-collar services such as plumbers, electricities, even employees of frequently businesses to not only report them, but also to actively harass, sabotage, give bad service or refuse service, make the targeted person's life difficult at every level, every day. Restaurants have even been known to make food so inedible as to discourage further businesses from the town, parish, or even poison the target. This blind cooperation is accomplished through the well-oiled baseless defamation campaign, Gestapo-style intimidation and bribery by fusion center operatives under the color of the law. Yes, your tax dollars used in the pyramid scheme of abuse, and the amount given to citizens, snitches, thugs, vigilantes, miscreants, and even convicted criminals. Their secret and thereby unconstitutional standing army is so obscenely high as to make most ignore any twinges of moral reservations that they may have in regard to committing crimes at the behest of their government. In addition, military complex contractors and certain rogue military can access these secretly dehumanized, now expendable non-people for non-consensual weapons testing for years or until their deaths. War-grade gases, Poisons, directed energy weapons are often used on them 24/7 by neighborhood operatives, either trained by fusion centers or who host fusion center operatives or MIC contractors. You can imagine that to detect these weapons requires very expensive, high-tech equipment, highly trained experts, and possibles for target to afford, much less find anyone in this torture matrix to actually help them. And certainly, regular law enforcement is not capable or willing. Often an experienced professional neighborhood lead is moved into the area, coordinates the attacks once in play. Then if the target leaves or after the target perishes, the coordinators move the lead to another attack campaign elsewhere. There would appear to be a national network of what victims call perp houses to facilitate changing attackers ever so often for efficiency and plausible deniability. One home was found to be listed as a rental property owned by the DOD, though no DOD facility entity was even within 100 miles of the lone rental house in the neighborhood in a single family-owned mortgage homes. These weapons mentioned above are not exclusive. FBI fusion centers often take contracts and partner with biotech entities that want non-consensual subjects to use for lucrative experiments using innovative medical chips, innovative nanotech, self-assembling biotech, transhumanist biotech, remote neural monitoring, etc. This entails getting help from corrupted medical and personnel or simply knocking out the target, operating on them in the middle of the night in their own homes. No known lock and key can stop such intrusions. Many are tagged for B2K, aka the Frey effect, aka microwave hearing, also known by the DOD as a voice of God weapon. These subjects, the person the voice is emitted to their brain pulse microwave sounds, absorbed by the process of bone conduction, used by many earphone brands. They can be random sounds or visual projections, or could be recorded harassment chatter or live harassment chatter to add salt to the abuse wound, and see what the effect in the incessant verbal abuse has on wearing down resistance and making the victim compliant, less than human by giving up free will to the master's relentless invasion of their minds. Make no mistake, this program was being beta tested for rollout to all of humanity by inbred, criminal, narcissistic, sociopathic, billionaire, and tech-savvy, self-proclaimed elites and human predators with God complexes and the wealth, influence, and tech know how to do it. And we're at its precipice right now. Bold, decisive, immediate, no-holds-bar actions are needed now by so-called leadership who've been painfully slow to awaken this danger and find courage to address it in order to wrest our fate from the hands of these monsters before it's absolutely too late to save civilization and humanity. There's no more time to waste, leeway left. It is truly do or die, rebirth our nation or bury it. And am I saying come up with arms and rise up with arms and start fighting? No. I'm just saying we got to come together. Pass these videos on I'm making. Pass the videos on Lorraine's making. Alternative homesteading. Pass these videos on these people are making. Because, you know, we need to get it to the right higher up person that might be able to do something, which I doubt they will be. But it's worth a try. We can't just sit here and die. So anyway, that's my latest video, my latest thing I had to talk about. And, you know, I'll probably do a video Wednesday. So anyway, God bless y'all. And please pass these videos on we're doing, man, because we're suffering doing these videos. We're getting hit. We're getting tortured. So pass them on, like them, and get it out in the community. I mean, we need these videos out. We need exposure and everything. But we can't get exposure if, you know, if our videos ain't getting shared. I don't care about subscribers or none of that. But the only reason I do is not for me. It's for people to know what's going on. Anyway, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day. And I hope, man, something happens soon. God bless y'all.